Kenneth Walker has become overrated since the incredible Super Bowl run. And maybe that stings. Maybe Seattle fans are angry that I say that, or maybe Chiefs fans are touched and hurt. And let's just face the facts, guys, okay? He's the fourth highest paid running back in the league. Okay, his contract is $43 million over 3 years, nearly $14.5 million per year. I've watched Kenneth Walker a lot, okay? Let me just read you off the career stats. Let's get on the same page here, okay? 2022, 1,000-yard rusher, 9 TDs. Solid season. 2023, 900-yard season, 8 touchdowns. Another solid season. 2024, 500 yards, 7 TDs, missed games. That's fine, solid season. 2025, another 1,000-yard season, 5 TDs. Cool, solid season. Number 4 paid running back in the league kind of seasons? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Who are you kidding? And understand this, right? The fit makes sense, right? But when you look at him from a running back talent perspective, he's not the 4th best running back in the league. He's not. The guys under him that are being paid less money, that are on their 2nd or 3rd contract, it's mind-boggling. And then you deep dive into the advanced metrics. It's not like K9 jumps off the chart at all. His yards per carry last year, 19th in the NFL. He's the 4th highest paid running back in the league right now. His yards after contact last year, I thought he was supposed to be a more physical, dominant running back, 21st in the NFL. Okay, what are we paying for here? His receiving yards for running backs, he was 18th in the NFL last year, 282 total receiving yards. All right, he doesn't provide anything exceptional in that category. How about this stat? 33rd in rush yards over expected with only 39. So he's just doing the average. He's doing the average. There are 32 better running backs in that category than him. Rush yards over expected. If you don't know what it is, you can search it up, go into it. It's essentially like how many rush yards you get compared to the rush yards you're expected to get. And if you get more, then you're just doing the most, right? There are guys who had 300, 200, 100. K9's got 39. And listen, I think he's a good running back. I think he's explosive. I think he adds a lot to the Chiefs' offense, which I'll touch on right away. But now we're not going to act like he's a top 5 RB in the league, but he's being paid like it. Why? Why? Because people fall into the Super Bowl trap, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to fall into the MVP trap. And I'm on record saying it's a great move for the Chiefs, and it is because it addresses a need, but it was an overpay. Look at the running backs on their next contract. Like I said, under K9, okay? James Cook is getting paid $11.5 million per year. He just led the NFL in rushing this past season. And the Bills had one of the most dominant rushing attacks in the league, if not the most dominant rushing attack, with James Cook. Jonathan Taylor, who was almost a 1,600-yard rusher with 18 TDs this past season. Kyren Williams, who had over 1,200 yards and 10 TDs this past season. And I like K9. Again, this is not a K9 hate segment. But what it is saying he's getting paid as a top 5 running back in football. And I already think running backs are a luxury and unnecessary for a rebuilding team that is just not ready to win a Super Bowl right now. And then he gets handed $14.5 million, And my eyes, they don't deceive me, guys. I will not fall into the Super Bowl MVP trap, the hype train, because he had a phenomenal run in January and February, and he absolutely did. And believe me, he's been dealing with a shared running back room between him and Charbonnet, and that's cool. And maybe he hasn't been given the opportunity to truly break out. But based on what I've seen, based on the stats, the eyes, you can't convince me he's a top 5 back in football. He might not even be top 8. What I do know with absolute confidence is that Kansas City, they were desperate for any explosiveness in their backfield. Okay? And he's an immediate upgrade from Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. That's true. Okay? Absolutely. And he is an explosive upper end back, but in my opinion, not worth that kind of contract. Not worth that kind of money. I look at Kansas City's roster right now and it scares the shit out of me. You just signed Travis Kelce, who was on his way out the front door, I thought. You lose everybody in the secondary. Everybody on the defense is just aging and aging and aging. How much older is Chris Jones going to get? It's like I don't know. I didn't love the contract. And like I said, and I'll state it again, and I say this all the time on the show, I have 3 premium positions in the league. It's your tackle, it's your edge rusher, it's your quarterback. Then after that, I said interior linemen. Then after that, I said receivers, DBs, linebackers. Then you can get to your running backs. $14.5 million for Kenneth Walker fits the need of Kansas City. Yes, absolutely. I love the move. It made sense. But I just think he's become overrated in NFL circles. I think the recency bias is creeping in, and it's freaking people out, and it's been blown out of proportion now. Like, he's just not a top 5 running back in football. He's not a top 8 running back in football. I'd rather have Jahmyr Gibbs. I'd rather have Jonathan Taylor. I'd rather have James Cook. The list goes on. Anyways, I kind of ranted for that full 7 minutes, but the shocking stuff to me was my deep dive into the stats over Kenneth Walker's last season, which was supposedly supposed to be his best season, and it wasn't all that phenomenal. Like, he was just good. He was just a good back, not worth $14.5 million. And I know the market is expanding and going crazy, but James Cook a year ago just took a super team-friendly deal at 11.5, and so did Kyren. So what the hell are we doing?